What does it mean to be a Lancer? It means more than being a committed student athlete, more than having the best mile time, the best batting average, the best chance at being MVP. Being a Grace Lancer is about being a champion of character. Champions who see, stretch, and strive for excellence in every area of their life. A Lancer dedicates their hard work and training toward one charge, one collision, one moment. We study the game, we practice longer, go harder, reach deeper, and dedicate all our effort toward one shot that matters, one serve, one swing, one moment. These are the moments that change us, define us, and lead us toward a lifetime of teamwork, persistence, and service. A lifetime of character. The life of a Lancer.
The thing about grace is that there is no place it can't go. No space it won't transform. No heart it doesn't touch. And as a college, there's a reason we're named after grace. Because it calls each one of us to something higher and more hopeful. Grace is not just the tradition in which we were founded. It's the future we embrace. As students of grace, we disrupt complacency. We redeem ideas and reimagine solutions. We weigh questions and create conversation. We integrate and include. We insist on healing and remember mercy. Because grace is not just a set of beliefs. It's beliefs set into motion. It makes us hungry for knowledge, serious about creating impact, passionate about a way of life that reflects Christ and the grace He has bestowed upon us. So when it is time to find our own way forward, grace gives us courage and confidence to go farther, impatient to trek fresh paths and scale unclimbable mountains. Wherever we go, whatever we do, whoever we become, we do it all in the ever-expanding ways of grace.
You know, we always say in our program, you're either competing or you're not. You know, and that's life. You're always going to have to compete every day. You're going to have to compete every day. It's playing for each other, playing as hard as you can, leaving everything on the floor, do things right, be unselfish, love one another, and glorify God. And we just believe those characteristics you can apply on and off the court, and they're the foundation of our program. If you're looking for that Christian education and still playing basketball or whatever your sport of choice, you got an opportunity to come here and play at a competitive high level, but at the same time you're going to get the spiritual development and grow and develop in our walk with the Lord and our faith, and just having that passion to get better in every area of our life, having that passion to improve, having that passion to challenge ourselves and know that we can do more, we can reach higher heights. The experience that you're going to get in your 4 years when you come here, you're going to take a trip. You're going to go somewhere where you're going to experience something different. You're going to learn about what it takes to be successful. You know, you have to have the self-discipline to get in the gym. You know, you have to have the work ethic. You have to be unselfish. You got to know it's not about you, it's about the we. Big time is not where you are. Big time is how you do it. And at Grace and in Grace Athletics, you know, we may be a small school, but we do it big time.
I spoke to my advisor about pursuing film, and he said that there was an internship possibility with Brand Poet, who does the marketing for Grace. I was able to learn a lot through the experience there, and I think that that really prepared me for the bulk of my applied learning, which was in Los Angeles. I got to intern with the special effects warehouse out there, so that was beyond phenomenal. I had this applied learning credit available to me. I knew that if I didn't take initiative for it, well, no one else is going to, because it's my life. In the end, I think that it's really helped me kind of finalize that film is where I'm supposed to be.
Sophomore year, I changed my major to business. One day, Gross Nickel had given us the opportunity to have an internship over at the chamber, and I got my foot in the door because of Deanna. She was right there working with me, so that was just a huge open for me. I knew that I needed to know this particular area, so I was able to go back to class and actually focus on that and actually took it in. Whereas if you don't know where you're focusing, it's not learned, hence the applied learning.
I would have never thought that the State House would have an IT position available to be able to come and be an intern for them. But once I did, I got really excited because it's a big building, it's a lot of people we're providing services to. Through this internship, I've realized what area of IT I like the most. So if out of college, right after this internship, I want to do a master's degree, I know what area of IT I want to do, as opposed to not having had any experience and not knowing what kind of master's degree I'm interested in.
I decided to take, at the time it was the OSI class, now it's Career Institutes. Because of that class, I applied to 3 or 4 places. Marketing for orthopedics is a little different because you're not marketing to the direct customer, but you're marketing to the surgeon, and that's just something cool that you learn, and it's definitely different. Having an internship gives you a base of a network, and if you work hard in your internship, then you have that base for the rest of your life.
For my first 2 years at Grace, I was a business major, but then I heard about Randy Polston's applied learning program, and when I signed up, I saw the spots at a dental practice. I was scared coming into it because I didn't know if certain careers were for me or if I was even in the right major, but if I didn't do applied learning, I feel as though I still would be unsure about my career right now.
The cool thing about Grace is it doesn't just give you all this information and make you run with it. They invest in you. They invest in what you want to do with your life and the direction you want to go in. Going into the workforce and being ready to take on the jobs that my employer is going to give me, I feel like I'm competent, like I'm ready to take it on because I've been so well prepared thanks to the Center for Career Connections.
I think that the great thing about applied learning is that because the majority of it is outside of the classroom, you have the opportunity to explore all these different possibilities of what you want to do.
Classes can only teach you so much, but once you're out in the real world, you have something that you can put on your resume.
And especially for me, before coming to college, I had no idea what I wanted to be. But applied learning allowed me to see what's out there, to see what a dentist does, to see what a pharmacist does. But without applied learning, I would have never opened my eyes to these possibilities.
Grace has given me the experience and the tools I need to really succeed after college, and they can do it for you too. All you need to do is take that first step.
Hello and welcome here to the Manahan Orthopedic Capital Center tonight as a big matchup between the Grace College Lancers and St. Francis. Grace ranked 13th in the country, and St. Francis, of course, the number 1 team in the country. Jerry, lots to talk about here. What are some of your pregame thoughts here as we get ready for this matchup?
Well, my sidekick, Jake Harmon, this is going to be an interesting contrast in styles because St. Francis is one of the smallest, how do I put this? One of the smallest, most successful programs in the entire country. I don't mean enrollment-wise. You'll notice they don't have a bigs. They got a 6'8" guy on their roster. They got a 6'8", 6'7" guy on their roster, but they'll play a 6'5" forward.
Yeah.
They'll start 3 guards at 6 foot tall. They are quicker than quick, and their athleticism is absolutely off the chart. So you say, well, automatically that's going to be a big advantage with us with Malone. But who's Malone going to guard?
Yeah.
So it'll be a great test for Grace. Luckily, we've had 2 opportunities against really athletic teams. Obviously, none the caliber of St. Francis.
Yeah.
If they were, then they'd be number 1 in the country. People go, well, who cares who's number 1 in the country? It's the first day of December. Baby, if you don't think those rating points mean something, how far a win tonight can go towards getting you jacked up in the national standings and putting you in a position for a national tournament at the end of February, it's unreal.
Yeah.
Now, is St. Francis paying attention to us, or are they looking ahead Saturday to play Wesleyan? You don't know where their heads are at.
Yeah, definitely going to be a big matchup tonight, and for the St. Francis, the big player to watch is going to be number 25, David Asia. Has been spectacular so far this season for the Cougars, and was a real problem for Grace last year in this matchup.
Oh my goodness, we had nightmares about him.
He, of course, Grace needed a game-winning shot by Cade Gibbs to win that one, but yeah, he's going to be a huge factor in this game for St. Francis.
It seems like he's been there. What have we played against him, about 25 times? It certainly seems like it.
Seems like it for sure.
Beautiful crowd. Student body is absolutely rocking tonight.
Pajama night tonight.
Oh, I thought it was either that or people just rolled out of bed. Of course, this is our last home game until after the first of the year.
Yeah, so great student body here tonight. Big student section. Lots of people from the community. It's going to be a real fun one tonight. Lots of energy in the crowd.
Wait a minute. So your pajamas are khakis and a Grace pullover?
Definitely not. I wish I could be a part of the pajama part, but we got to be professional on the broadcast here, Jerry. So, yeah, but really excited for this one tonight. Of course, for the Lancers, Frankie Davidson has been huge this season. Of course, coming off that 35-point game against Marion, and going to have an interesting matchup tonight. As you mentioned, Jerry, some of St. Francis guards on a little bit shorter. Might be an opportunity for him to shoot over a lot of those smaller guards tonight.
Well, they don't have a whole lot of height, but they play big.
Yeah.
They won't let you post up. They'll push you off of the block. They overplay passing lanes. So, they look to turn the basketball over a lot. For the freshmen, it'll be undoubtedly the quickest team they've played against and the most athletic team they've played against so far, not just in their Grace career, but in their basketball career. Of course, you're going to hear sometime throughout the night a very familiar name in the state of Indiana, number 22, wearing his daddy's number, Brayton Bailey. Who is that? Now, I know you're too young to remember who this is, but Damon Bailey, Indiana's all-time leading scorer, man with the most unusual double-double in the history of the state of Indiana. Men's basketball state championship and coached an undefeated girls state champion there at Bedford North Lawrence, and it is his son that is taking the court. Let's hope that none of that IU magic rubs off on his son.
That's right. Well, we'll head to the pregame protocol here in the PA system, and we'll join you back for the starting lineups.
Take to the hardwood, and we welcome you to the Manhattan Orthopedic Capital Center. Let's have you please rise if you're not already, and we'll begin with our pregame protocol. God, we love you. Thanks for this time of the year. Thanks that we just set aside the days in December just to focus what had happened at Bethlehem many years ago. But thank you that reality can be present in our lives today. Thank you that the babe of Bethlehem becomes the King of Calvary and can make a difference in how we play a game, live our lives, or just go through life day to day. Thanks for the blessings that we have in this land. Thanks for the game in hand now. We just pray that you be with these teams. You've given them a special gift to play at a high level. They're going to put it on display. We pray that they'll do so without any injury and that you reward them richly with their efforts. Thanks to the third team. They're the officials. We are so appreciative of those that came our way. Guide them for this game and the rest of their season with safety on their assignments and good health. Thank you once again for the opportunity to be able to watch and participate. In Jesus' name, amen. You'll see the flag on the video screens. It's also presented live to the right of the main stage, our national anthem.
And so there you have it, the starting lineups tonight for both the Cougars and the Lancers.
This has got to be the kind of crowd that makes an athletic director's heart beat at Twitter. Coach Briscoe standing right next to us, surveying his domain.
Yeah, as there you see the Lancers starting lineup: Eddie Gill, Jake Wadding, Bryson Graber, Frankie Davidson, and Elijah Malone. And for the Cougars, it's Jalen Mole, Dan McKeeman, Antoine Cushingberry, Brayton Bailey, and David Asia.
I'm going to guess that Wadding's going to guard Asia.
As we're underway here in this big-time showdown between the Lancers and the Cougars.
I like those gray uniforms.
Here's Graber. Over to Wadding now inside Malone. And the big fella gets the quick two. And the Lancers starting strong here.
And Wadding didn't mess around with that pass. He zipped that cross court.
And as you see there, as you mentioned, Jerry, Wadding guarding Asia. As Mole going to try to drive by Davidson, and he throws it away. And the ball will go over to the Lancers. Here's the finish there by Malone.
I mean, that had a velocity of about 96 on the way to Malone. It's a good thing he caught it. It might have broken his nose.
Graber guarded tight by Cushingberry. Graber over to Gill. Eddie Gill going to try a three. That one well short. Offensive rebound, Malone. And Malone able to put it back in.
Gill's going to tell Malone that was a pass.
Yeah. And 4 quick points here from Malone as the Lancers lead at 4-0. Cushingberry over to Asia. Now Mole. Mole going to be left open for three. Knocks it down. And the Cougars on the board here.
Frankie will learn he's got to go over the top of that screen.
Graber guarded tightly here by Cushingberry. Now finds Malone. Malone back to Graber. Now throwing it inside to Davidson. Davidson working on Mole. Nice move inside, and Davidson gets the two.
Graber made sure he had a good passing angle before he let that ball fly inside.
And interesting to see there, Brayton Bailey being guarded by Elijah Malone.
Well, Bailey's probably their least offensive threat.
As there he misses the three, and the rebound to Gill. Graber over to Gill. Now Davidson. Davidson, nice ball fake. That shot no good. Malone with the offensive rebound. His third already here. Malone working on Asia inside. Nice pivot in the lane and lays it in. And the Lancers off to a great start here, 8-3.
Way to be strong, big man. Like to see Asia pick up a couple fouls inside against Malone.
Mole now driving on, kicking out to Asia. Good defense there from Wadding. Now Mole. Going to pull this one out. 8 to shoot here for the Cougars. Mole spinning inside. Blocked by Malone. And that gets the crowd on its feet.
That was a great job by Malone of making sure he came in from the side, because Mole is quick enough to be able to pick up a foul on him, but see how Malone comes from the side with no chance of a foul.
2 seconds on the shot clock here for the Cougars. As they get it in, and McKeeman's got to put this one up. No good. And that's going to be a shot clock violation as that ball did not hit the rim. And the Lancers with some good defensive possessions here to start. Here's Graber going to get it across here for Grace.
Graber does such a nice job of keeping his dribble and not picking it up too quick. I imagine that's going to be the scouting report.
Davidson into Wadding for the easy two.
Perfect give and go. I imagine they're going to try and make Graber pick the basketball up and start the offense farther out on the floor.
Here's Cushingberry guarded by Gill. Now over to Asia. Asia working on Wadding. Good defense there from Jake Wadding.
Man of 1,000 moves.
Cushingberry now with 7 to shoot. Nice little pull-up from mid-range, and that one rimming out. And Malone with the defensive rebound. Here's Graber.
See, picked his dribble up just a bit too soon.
Now Malone. Now Gill. Gill trying to get inside, finds Wadding. Now Wadding open for three, no good. And Cushingberry gets the rebound. Now quickly out to Bailey. And a hard fall there. As Bailey holding his knee, not good to see. I hope he's okay.
Me too, but it really kind of appeared as if he lost his balance rather than, a great give and go. Then actually got fouled going to the basket.
Bailey trying to walk it off here. And still head to the free throw line.
I did not see contact by Malone on that.
Yeah, they gave Malone the foul there. Going to be his first. And they're going to get a sub here for Bailey, I think. As number 4, Zane Burke, getting ready to check in. Here's another look at that. Just kind of an awkward
See, he was going
step.
down before contact was made. Now, if Malone had landed on my hip, I think I might be hobbled a little bit too. He's a hard-nosed kid.
So Cushingberry will shoot the free throws here for the Cougars.
Okay, now why does Cushingberry do it?
The referee's still talking here.
It should be the player that came in for Bailey, not whatever player that Coach Lacrosse wants to put at the free throw line. I think that's what Coach Moore just asked him, too.
And they're going to put Asia at the free throw line.
Again.
And Asia's first up and in. As a sub here for Grace, as Ian Scott checking in here for Elijah Malone. Asia will shoot his second. The sophomore from Fort Wayne. And that one good.
I believe he averaged about 28 in the games against us last year.
Davidson gets it in here to Wadding.
Good height advantage.
Wadding tried to find Scott inside, has that one stolen away, and now here come the Cougars. Cushingberry gets it over to Mull. Now Burke. Burke will try a three. That one well short. And the rebound to Gill. Here's Graber. Now Wadding. Now Davidson, 13 to shoot here for Grace. Davidson, nice little step through, and he gets the length and
putting it off the glass.
And Frankie Davidson, with his second basket of the game, he's got 4. Here's Asia, guarded by Wadding. And Asia sneaks inside, misses the layup, and Wadding with the rebound.
Did you notice how much contact there was between the two of them?
Yeah.
And Wadding did not back down.
Davidson, quick pull-up three, no good.
I don't think Coach Moore was real happy about that.
Now Cushingberry. He kicks over to Burke, and Burke's three will be no good. Offensive rebound, though, to Asia. Now McKeeman left wide open. He cannot hit. And the Lancers pretty fortunate there. 2 great looks from some good shooters for the Cougars.
Well, if you're on the floor for St. Francis, good shooters is pretty much goes without saying.
Davidson again from mid-range, knocks it down. As Davidson now with 6. Lancers lead at 14-5. Moll's three going to rattle out, and Jake Wadding gets the rebound. Nice look ahead by Graber to Scott, and Scott will be fouled by Asia.
What a nice pass. What an absolutely beautiful pass from Graber. As soon as he caught the ball, turned his head on a swivel, didn't dribble it, rifled the pass up the floor, and picked up an important foul on a key player.
Yeah, we're going to have a media timeout here, so we'll take a quick break, but we'll be right back after this.
And we're back. Jerry Grano along with Jake Harmon. Jake, who's working the board and cameras for us tonight?
Yeah, we got Grant Cook, the Magic Fingers, as
there we go,
say, on the board, and then Chase Byron and Trey Davis running cameras for us. So appreciate those boys and all their hard work.
Now we've got a new camera angle from down on the floor tonight.
Yeah, a bit of a moving cam, so upping the production quality here. But excited about that.
But they still won't give me the fickle finger to be able to mark on the screen.
One day, maybe. One day. We'll see.
I think they're afraid that I'll use a permanent marker instead and just absolutely screw up the board.
Scott unable to hit the first free throw. And his second is good as the Lancers here with a 10-point lead.
Now, St. Francis shoots the ball about 73% from the free throw line. Considerably better than the Lancers. We hope the game doesn't come down to that.
Here's Asia, going to be guarded by Scott. And that one deflected off McKeeman. Nice defensive play there from Frankie Davidson.
All right, this is going to be a critical part of the game. Wadding getting a rest, in fact, getting his ankles taped at the present time. And you've got a freshman, Scott, guarding, at the very least, a first-team all-conference player, if not perhaps conference player of the year.
Graber getting inside now, back out to Sikafus. Here's Graber. Looking for Davidson here in the mid-post area. 10 to shoot. Davidson goes that little fadeaway, and that's a pretty shot from Frankie Davidson.
Man, it's so important that Frankie takes just that aggressive offensive mentality that you can't stop me.
Here's Burke.
Because, frankly, he's right.
Cushingberry. He'll pull up for three. No good. And Frankie Davidson with the board. Quick outlet here to Stoltzfus. Now Graber. Graber over to Sikafus. Now Scott. 12 to shoot. Now Graber. Graber to Davidson. Never really had it now. Just pulls up in traffic. No good. And a nice rebound there from Asia. Here's Cushingberry getting inside on Stoltzfus. Good defense there as that layup no good. And Stoltzfus with the rebound. As they get it over to Graber. Now Scott. Tip pass. Davidson able to come up with it and get the layup.
Oh, my.
Not the greatest pass from Scott, but a great play by Frankie Davidson. Lancers lead is now 14 as Mole gets inside there on Sikafus and gets the layup to go.
Got three pure freshmen on the floor at one time playing against the number one team in the country. Four pure freshmen.
Scott over to Graber. Now Stoltzfus to Sikafus. Inside to Davidson. Sikafus going to drive inside, and he's going to be fouled by Burke.
What's that tell you about the confidence this coaching staff's got in this young squad?
Here's that play by Davidson. Just great effort there by Frankie Davidson.
And he did such a great job of keeping the ball above his shoulders. He didn't bring it down by his waist where he could get it tapped away.
Scott into Davidson. Another little fadeaway off the glass. Frankie Davidson feel it here tonight as they lead, the Lancers lead at 21-7.
Coach Lacrosse not a very happy camper with his defense right now. Again, a great job of Scott of improving his passing angle by taking it across the middle of the post area and then to drop it down. If he would have just tried to drop it in over the top to Frankie, it probably would have been knocked away.
Yeah, Lancers here, 21-7 lead with 11:27 to go here in this first half. And Frankie Davidson with 12 points, outscoring St. Francis by himself, really.
It seems like he's got about 20 already.
Yeah, and they've been some impressive buckets as well.
Well, the Lancers have done an outstanding job, Jake, of ball movement. Haven't done a whole lot of dribbling. It's been pass and cut, dribble to improve your passing angle, drop it down, let's get out of here.
As Elijah Malone going to check in for Frankie Davidson, giving him a bit of a breather. Oh, and now he checks back in. Kind of faked me out there.
Malone in for Graber.
Yeah, in for Graber. As here is Mole for the Cougars. Now McKeeman. McKeeman, little pull-up jumper. That's no good. And Stoltzfus with the board. Now Scott. Swings it over to Stoltzfus. Sikafus now to Stoltzfus. Trying to find Malone inside. They finally get it to him here.
They're not double teaming him.
And Malone, just easy work in the lane. Lays it in. And Grace extending their lead.
Although the Lancers' passing has been outstanding, even better has been their defense.
Asia's three well off the mark.
And they pretty much limited St. Francis to one shot every time down.
3-on-2 now. Stoltzfus an open look.
Bring down the house, baby.
No good. And the rebound goes to the Cougars' Elwer.
Scott kind of got bent over backwards on that rebound.
And a nice block by Malone as Mole tried to get the layup over him. Now the Lancers going the other way to Davidson.
Yeah, he's double teamed.
Sikafus driving inside. His layup, no good. And the rebound.
Did you notice Sikafus with a little elbow there?
Now Sikafus, a little pull-up jumper's no good. And they're going to get
That's
an offensive
foul. That's going to be a
foul.
push-off on Scott.
Good call there by the official as Scott pushed off. Here's another look at that block. Hard to finish over Malone like that.
And how he avoided body contact was really quite graceful.
Here's Cushionberry for the Cougars. Still has not scored yet for them as he now pulls up and will knock it down.
Way to go, Jake.
Announcer's jinx there as he knocks it down. And the Cougars trail by 14 here. And Scott will be fouled. And they're going to get McKeeman with the personal.
I'll tell you what, our freshmen are fearless, man.
Yeah. Wadding going to check in here for Frankie Davidson. As the referee kind of separating Asia and Wadding here. As a sub for the Cougars, Nayland Thompson checking in here for Asia.
Well, Coach Lacrosse takes Asia out. Doesn't want him picking up a silly foul.
They get it into Wadding. Now Sikafus. Sikafus open for three. Knocks it down. And the Lancers now lead at 26-9. Boy, you said it, Jerry. These freshmen just fearless. Here's Mole.
Might have got away with a travel.
Kick over to Thompson for three. That one rims out. And Malone with another rebound. Here's Malone. Over to Stoltzfus. Now Sikafus. Scott posting up on McKeeman. Nice little jumper in the lane, gets it to go. As now McKeeman quickly the other way for three, knocks it down. Can't give him too many open looks. McKeeman, a great shooter.
That's why they're so good. They got the ball down the court on 2 passes in 3 seconds and a three-pointer up.
Wadding over to Stoltzfus. He has some space. He'll pull it. No good.
But that was a standing three-pointer. He didn't really step into that.
Yeah. Here's the three from Sikafus. Inbound now to Wadding. Stoltzfus to Sikafus. Now Malone, 8 to shoot here for Grace. Scott going to be inside here, and he has that one stripped away by Mole.
Just not strong enough. Got himself stripped.
Mole the other way, rejected by Malone. He's letting him go.
Big man's like a panther through the jungle, man. Woo!
As Asia checks back in. Here's Cushingberry now for the Cougars. Mole now into Asia. Asia working inside, and that time he gets it to go.
He's just so long, man.
Yeah.
You know, he can come to a 2-foot jump stop and it extends like a crane.
Sikafus over to Scott. Now lobbing it up to Wadding. Wadding able to hang on to it. Now just bullies his way inside. Strong move from Wadding.
Well, he was against the triple team, and then they just backed off of him. Left a guy 5'8" to guard him.
Cushingberry, great D there from Stoltzfus. Now Cushingberry going to get an open look. No good. And Scott with a rebound. Here's Stoltzfus as Moore going to call out a play here.
Grace is getting a ton of time out of these 2 freshman guards off the bench.
Now Sikafus over to Stoltzfus for three. No good. Wadding with the rebound, and he's got the and one. Jake Wadding. Boy, has he been impressive in this first half.
Well, you know, he was told coming out of Saturday's game, baby, you got number 2-5. He's going to be yours.
Yeah.
And he has just taken it on his back.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what a mentality it's rubbed off on the offensive end also.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, if you've watched him, EJ has bumped and bumped and bumped, and I mean, he's come right into Wadding's chest, and Wadding hasn't backed down in the slightest. That old region toughness is like, bring it. You can't bump me hard enough.
Yeah, and I mean, without fouling as well, honestly, keeping his hands out and letting him just go right into his chest.
And if nothing else, saying, hey, you're going to pick up a charge, you keep doing this.
Yeah. An impressive start here from the Lancers as they lead it 32-14 over the number 1 team in the country here, St. Francis. And here's another look at that.
Look at him.
Just going through people.
Like a big brother with a little brother. Get away from me.
Yeah, impressive stuff there.
And this is coming off of the sideline where he just had both of his ankles taped.
Yeah. So the lineup on the floor here for the Lancers is going to be Bryson Graber and Eddie Gill checking back in, as well as Frankie Davidson, and then Wadding and Malone.
So we pick up some defense and some ball handling, but lose a little bit of outside shooting.
Great minutes, though, as you mentioned, from the freshmen, Stoltzfus, Scott, and Sikafus, who hit that big three. So it's going to be Wadding here at the free throw line, trying to complete the three-point play here. And he gets it to go. As here's now Mole for the Cougars. Over to Asia. Nice ball fake there by Asia. Can't finish, though. Davidson unable to corral it, and it's Malone that gets the rebound. Davidson, a little loose with it there. And now he gets it to Graber. Davidson. Going to that little fadeaway jumper. And Frankie Davidson.
Glad to see that hot hand didn't cool off at all.
Yeah, he is feeling it, even from the Marion game. As Cushingberry over to McKeeman. Now Newman, who just checked in, and he'll throw it away. And the Cougars maybe a bit frazzled here early. Here's this fadeaway jumper by Davidson. Such a difficult shot, but makes it look so easy.
Anderson comes in for a little bit of bulk that he's going to go up against Davidson. Not quite as tough an offensive player, but a much better rebounder and defensive player.
Here's Davidson, guarded by Asia. Nice little fake. A scoop layup is good. And Frankie Davidson in his bag right now.
Tell you what, Jake, Asia has not been taken to school like this frequently.
Mole with a beautiful little spin move as he gets the floater to go.
Now that's the thing about St. Francis. They just don't panic. They keep their poise, and it's like, took you 14 minutes to get this lead. There's a whole lot more than 14 minutes left. We're not worried. Then that kind of comes out of Coach Lacrosse.
Graber for three, gets it to go.
And that's not just a three-pointer. That's about an 8-point shot right there, because now it means the defender's got to come out and guard him. You know that whatever comes out of this game, this film's going to be looked at closely by everybody in the conference, and if they see Graber, if he's left alone, can knock down that three, again, big difference.
Graber gives it to Davidson here, 10 to shoot. Davidson just going to rise up for three. This time can't connect.
Okay, he's entitled to miss 2.5. That's all.
Cushingberry in the lane, blocked by Malone again. And now Davidson the other way. Gets it to Malone.
Look at the big man getting on the floor.
Both teams on the floor. And we're going to get a jump ball. Possession will go to the Cougars.
All sorts of body parts wrangled up there on the floor.
Great hustle by both teams and there's that block by Malone.
Malone's going to get credit for the block. But Eddie did a great job of channeling him directly into that block. What's most impressive to me, 4 minutes and 18 seconds to play, and St. Francis has got 16 points.
Yeah.
Now, in that 4:16, they can double that easily. That's how good they are. But the defensive effort by the Lancers so far has just been outstanding.
Mole kicks now. McKeeman open look for three. Unable to hit. And Eddie Gill with the rebound. Here's Gill over to Graber. Gets it inside here to Malone. Malone taking his time here. 10 seconds to shoot.
That's going to be a foul on Malone if he doesn't be careful.
As they have a foul here on Anderson. Going to be his first.
And Anderson saying, hey, man, he's kind of putting that forearm shiver into my chest. That could have gone either way.
As Zane Burke checks into the game here for the Cougars. As Coach Moore will call a 30-second timeout. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. And we're back here at the MOCC as the Lancers taking on number 1 St. Francis have a 40-16 lead here with 3:40 left in this first half. Good to see the pep band out here tonight.
They sound great. And as the camera passes over, look at the kind of perplexed look on Chad Lacrosse's face. And this is a man that's, he's been through the wars. This is his 12th year, couple national championships. He doesn't get perplexed very often.
Yeah.
Right now, he's just got to be thinking, just get me to halftime.
Grace will get it here sideline as Cushingberry picks up the foul. That's his first. As Wadding getting it to Malone. And here comes the
He's
double
doubled.
team.
Somebody's open.
And Graber looking to get it to him again. Now gets a screen. Nice cut there by Gill. Gill trying to finish inside, and he does. Gets the and one.
Well, if we can see that again, you'll see Malone comes out to set the screen, and Graber does a dribble down. And then Malone sets the screen for Eddie to cut straight down the middle because Malone had cleared out on the post. Great little three-man roll there. Get there, Eddie.
Gill's free throw is going to be short. As now here's Mole the other way. Cushingberry getting inside. Now kicks to Burke. Now Mole inside for Anderson. Anderson going over that left shoulder. This time cannot finish.
And Malone kept his feet. Kept his composure.
Gill now Davidson. Back to Gill. They get it inside here to Malone. Malone, beautiful spin, and he's going to get fouled, unable to finish. That would have brought the roof off.
That's kind of one of those moves where you pick up pieces of your laundry. Yeah, if you're the defender, because you got faked out of them. Whoops. And that was a good foul by Anderson. Rather than give up that dunk, pick up a foul. A free throw is not nearly as exciting as a dunk is.
As Malone hits the first. Sub here for the Lancers as Ian Scott checks in here for Jake Wadding.
Scott Moore backpedaling all the way in front of the bench with Jake Wadding. I didn't think he could still move that quick. Congratulations, Coach.
Malone hits the second. And Grace's lead is now 44-16. And we're going to get another sub here as Stoltzfus checks in for Malone.
I like that sub. Rather than let Malone pick up another foul, let's get him off the floor.
Here's Mole now for the Cougars. Driving in on Stoltzfus. Now back out Asia. Extra pass to Burke. Asia now working in on Scott. His layup up and in. That's a tough move there from David Asia.
Well, you notice how bright this St. Francis team is. As soon as they saw that switch and Elijah go out of the game, offensively, hope Eddie didn't twist his knee, they spread offense out and just cleared it for Asia to come down the middle against the freshman.
Sycophus checking in here for Gill.
A little bit of a hop in his giddy up, but doesn't look to be injured.
Here's Cushingberry working in on Stoltzfus. Good defense there. That shot no good, but Cushingberry with the rebound misses the layup. And Scott with the rebound. Now he finds Davidson inside who's fouled, and he gets one. Frankie Davidson.
Again, totally unselfish. Get it ahead to Frankie. Frankie does enough of a dipsy-doodle to get his man up in the air, lays the ball in, protects the basketball, and gets it off the glass.
Great vision there by Scott. And Davidson trying to complete the three-point play here with 1:50 to go. And he does. 47-18, Lancers lead.
Nobody asked what the halftime score is.
Asia now just going to pull up for three. Misses that one. Burke, though, with the offensive rebound. Now Mole going to try a three, and he connects.
Don't let him get any kind of momentum. Don't let him get to like 25 or 28 by halftime.
Graber cross court over to Stoltzfus. Now Scott. Scott inside, able to finish. Now here's Mole. Mole gets all the way in the paint and gets it to go.
See, without Malone, they are just taking it straight to the hole. They've come down to paint the last 4 times down the court.
Jalen Mole now with 7 points for St. Francis. Graber now to Stoltzfus. Sikafus to Scott. Back to Sikafus. His layup up, no good. Davidson unable to get the rebound, though. And now McKeeman the other way.
If Sikafus would have come to a 2-foot jump stop and pump fake, he'd had 2 guys go flying out of bounds and had an easy layup.
Mole getting inside, kicks to Asia, extra pass. Now Cushingberry open for 3. That one rattles out. And now
Let's just get one shot.
Yeah, Coach Moore saying hold for 1 here. Graber being guarded very tightly here by Cushingberry.
And not backing down from Cushingberry.
Here's Scott. Over to Graber. Bryson Graber for 3. No good. Davidson with the rebound. Puts it up at the buzzer. Oh, and just unable to hit it. But that'll do it here for the first half. As the Lancers lead it 49-23 over number 1 St. Francis. Wow.
You know, this Grace Lancer team might be pretty decent.
Wow, this might be a good team here. Yeah, 26-point lead. And I mean, what do you say? What do you say in the locker room if you're Coach Lacrosse here for the Cougars?
As trite as it seems and as cheesy as it seems, you say, you know what? It took them 20 minutes to get that lead. We've got another 20 minutes. We can outscore them by that much.
Yeah.
If you're Grace, the biggest thing that has to happen is, I'll guarantee you, Scott is not going to go in that locker room and going to be patting people on the back and yippee-ki-yay. No, he's going to find some things wrong. And the things are, he's going to implore them to come out the first 5 minutes of this second half and put the throttle down.
Yeah.
To absolutely put it away. You know, if in the first 5 minutes they can continue this dominance, then St. Francis goes, you know what? It's not our night. You know?
Yeah.
We'll just get through. Nobody gets hurt. We'll work on some things, maybe some alternative offensive sets. Collect their gear and be ready to go back on Saturday. Saturday is another ball game.
Yeah.
Now, if you let them get on like a 10-2 run, and now they're within like 10 or 15, now they've got a sniff. And you don't want to let them do that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're going to head to some halftime commercials, but we'll be right back for this second half. Don't go anywhere.
What does it mean to be a Lancer? It means more than being a committed student athlete, more than having the best mile time, the best batting average, the best chance at being MVP. Being a Grace Lancer is about being a champion of character. Champions who see, stretch, and strive for excellence in every area of their life. A Lancer dedicates their hard work and training toward one charge, one collision, one moment. We study the game, we practice longer, go harder, reach deeper, and dedicate all our effort toward one shot that matters, one serve, one swing, one moment. These are the moments that change us, define us, and lead us toward a lifetime of teamwork, persistence, and service. A lifetime of character. The life of a Lancer.
The thing about grace is that there is no place it can't go. No space it won't transform. Art it doesn't touch. And as a college, there's a reason we're named after grace. Because it calls each one of us to something higher and more full. Grace is not just the tradition in which we were founded. It's the future we embrace. As students of grace, we disrupt complacency. We redeem ideas and reimagine solutions. We weigh questions and create conversation. We integrate and include. We insist on healing and remember mercy. Because grace is not just a set of beliefs. It's beliefs set into motion. It makes us hungry for knowledge, serious about creating impact, passionate about a way of life that reflects Christ and the grace He has bestowed upon us. So when it is time to find our own way forward, grace gives us courage and confidence to go far, impatient to trek fresh paths and scale unclimbable mountains. Wherever we go, whatever we do, whoever we become, we do it all in the ever-expanding ways of grace.
We always say in our program, you're either competing or you're not. And that's life. You're always going to have to compete every day. You're going to have to compete every day. It's playing for each other, playing as hard as you can, leaving everything on the floor, do things right, be unselfish, love one another, and glorify God. And we just believe those characteristics you can apply on and off the court, and they're the foundation of our program. If you're looking for that Christian education and still playing basketball or whatever your sport of choice, you got an opportunity to come here and play at a competitive high level, but at the same time you're going to get the spiritual development and grow and develop in our walk with the Lord and our faith, and just having that passion to get better in every area of our life, having that passion to improve, having that passion to challenge ourselves and know that we can do more, we can reach higher heights. The experience that you're going to get in your 4 years when you come here, you're going to take a trip. You're going to go somewhere where you're going to experience something different. You're going to learn about what it takes to be successful. You have to have the self-discipline to get in the gym. You have to have the work ethic. You have to be unselfish. You got to know it's not about you, it's about the we. Big time is not where you are. Big time is how you do it. And at Grace and in Grace Athletics, we may be a small school, but we do it big time.
I spoke to my advisor about pursuing film, and he said that there was an internship possibility with Brand Poet, who does the marketing for Grace. I was able to learn a lot through the experience there, and I think that that really prepared me for the bulk of my applied learning, which was in Los Angeles. I got to intern with the special effects warehouse out there, so that was beyond phenomenal. I had this applied learning credit available to me. I knew that if I didn't take initiative for it, well, no one else is going to, because it's my life. In the end, I think that it's really helped me kind of finalize that film is where I'm supposed to be.
Sophomore year, I changed my major to business. One day, Gross Nickel had given us the opportunity to have an internship over at the chamber, and I got my foot in the door because of Deanna. She was right there working with me, so that was just a huge open for me. I knew that I needed to know this particular area, so I was able to go back to class and actually focus on that and actually took it in. Whereas if you don't know where you're focusing, it's not learned, hence the applied learning.
I would have never thought that the State House would have an IT position available to be able to come and be an intern for them. But once I did, I got really excited because it's a big building, it's a lot of people that we're providing services to. Through this internship, I've realized what area of IT I like the most. So if out of college, right after this internship, I want to do a master's degree, I know what area of IT I want to do, as opposed to not having had any experience and not knowing what kind of master's degree I'm interested in.
I decided to take, at the time it was the OSI class, now it's Career Institutes. Because of that class, I applied to 3 or 4 places. Marketing for orthopedics is a little different because you're not marketing to the direct customer, but you're marketing to the surgeon, and that's just something cool that you learn, and it's definitely different. Having an internship gives you a base of a network, and if you work hard in your internship, then you have that base for the rest of your life.
For my first 2 years at Grace, I was a business major, but then I heard about Randy Polston's applied learning program, and when I signed up, I saw the spots at a dental practice. I was scared coming into it because I didn't know if certain careers were for me or if I was even in the right major, but if I didn't do applied learning, I feel as though I still would be unsure about my career right now.
The cool thing about Grace is it doesn't just give you all this information and make you run with it. They invest in you. They invest in what you want to do with your life and the direction you want to go in. Going into the workforce and being ready to take on the jobs that my employer is going to give me, I feel like I'm competent, like I'm ready to take it on because I've been so well prepared thanks to the Center for Career Connections.
I think that the great thing about applied learning is that because the majority of it is outside of the classroom, you have the opportunity to explore all these different possibilities of what you want to do.
Classes can only teach you so much, but once you're out in the real world, you have something that you can put on your resume.
And especially for me, before coming to college, I had no idea what I wanted to be. But applied learning allowed me to see what's out there, to see what a dentist does, to see what a pharmacist does. But without applied learning, I would have never opened my eyes to these possibilities.
Grace has given me the experience and the tools I need to really succeed after college, and they can do it for you too. All you need to do is take that first step.
And we're back here at the MOCC getting ready for the second half between the Grace College Lancers and the St. Francis Cougars. And boy, what an exciting first half for Grace as they lead at 49-23, as I mentioned. And
Jake, I'm going to have to give you some doggy downers or something. You are just...
I'm amped, man.
You are.
I'm going to lose my voice. This
You're
is
like a
exciting
helium
stuff.
balloon up in the rafters. Plus, you did the women's game before this.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. We'll have some stats here momentarily, but the Lancers really, as we were talking during the halftime break, really got anything they wanted inside.
Well, look for St. Francis to maybe play a little bit of a matchup to where they play man along the baseline, and then maybe be a little bit of a scramble, or maybe do a half-court trap.
Yeah.
Because of their quickness. The other thing that was impressive, I don't know that we had 5 turnovers in the first half. I mean, I don't have a stat sheet to look at, but I'm just trying to think back mentally, and that's always a scary proposition for me. But we really did not turn the basketball over much at all. Neither did they a whole lot.
Yeah.
It was mostly tremendous defense, with us holding him to off-balance shots and then holding him to one shot. Defensive rebounding was just absolutely superb.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be the same St. Francis team in the second half. I'm not trying to be a downer because I'm as jacked as anybody in the gym, but we have had a 17-point lead and a 19-point lead against St. Francis in the last 5 years, and have lost both those basketball games.
Yeah.
So this is not a team that you can just say, well, they're over, pack up the bus and order the pizzas. That doesn't roll. Coach Lacrosse, very even-keeled. Those are the kind of guys he recruits, but they know how to crank it down a notch too.
Yeah. And, St. Francis, they're the number 1 team in the country for a reason.
Absolutely.
And
they're 10-0. They didn't beat, Dinky Doo, Dinky Da, and Little Sisters of the Radiator Shop. We've talked before, again, since we don't have stats yet to look over, critical part of the basketball game is the first 5 minutes of this second half.
Yeah.
If we can maintain the lead, maintain the momentum, maintain our rhythm, ball game's over.
Yeah.
If they make any kind of inroad into it, especially as young as we are, we have not seen this team, the Lancers, panic yet, but it wouldn't be outside the possibility, that they could.
Yeah.
Hey, this is starting to fritter away, because if you've got a veteran team, they can handle a halftime lead like this. When you're younger, and you're saying, we're beating the number 1 team in the country, man, we're pretty good. They get more jacked up than you do.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see how this will work itself out as we're underway here in this second half. The Lancers going with the same starters as they try to get a backdoor to Davidson. Up and under. What a finish by Davidson.
Frankie stayed in the air a long time on that.
That one got the crowd on its feet.
And that was a set play that was set to come out of the blocks well here in the second half. Nice job by the coaching staff.
Jalen Moll going to be left open here for 3. No good. And it's Bryson Graber with the rebound. Graber has that one poked away by Cushingberry. And McKeeman now the other way to Asia. Asia goes up. And a hard foul there by Gill.
And that's a great foul by Gill.
Great play by Gill.
That is a great... but he fouled somebody. Yeah, but you know what? Look how long Frankie hung. Hanky. He could be a hanky too. But if Asia gets a bender dunk, his guys come off the bench, there gets into it.
Yeah.
They something to hang their hat on. Now they've got free throws. Smart play by Eddie Gill.
Asia hits the first. That's going to be Eddie Gill's first foul. As Asia's second. Oh, good. And Davidson grabs the rebound for Grace. Graber over to Gill. Now Wadding. Here's Gill. Trying to find Malone inside. Now Wadding. 11 to shoot here for Grace. Now Davidson.
A lot of standing.
Davidson going to that fadeaway, and it's a pretty shot by Davidson as he's He's got 21 now for Grace.
Surprised they haven't put somebody a little bit bigger on him.
Here's Mole. Corner now to Burke. Burke for three. That's good. As he hits his shot of the game.
They only have about 8 guys that shoot over 40% from the three-point line. 3-point line. See, now you got me all.
There you go. Here's Gill working inside. Well, spin move. Nice step through. Unable to finish, though. Gets his own rebound, and he's going to foul. And I think they're going to get Asia with that one. That'll be his.
Asia does not look to be a very happy camper right now.
They get it into Wadding. Graber now to Davidson, as they're going to double him quickly now. Over to Graber. Graber, and he's going to be fouled. And they get Asia with the foul. And that's his third.
And those are a couple frustration fouls. You know, he hasn't got much of an offensive rhythm. As good as he is, you know he's got to be a little bit frustrated.
Graber now open look for three. Not good on that one. And the rebound to Asia. Now quickly the other way to McKeeman. Open for three. And that's good. And that's the second time St. Francis has done that on that secondary break. And the three cuts it to 23. Here's Gill. Graber now to Davidson. Looking inside for Wadding. Now they get it to him. Graber here, now a screen from Davidson. Now Davidson going to rise up for three, and he knocks it down. Davidson again. Now Mold the other way inside. Blocked by Davidson. Saved, though, by Cushingberry. Great play. Now Asia. Over to Cushingberry. Nice little ball fake, and he tries a three. No good. And Gill gets the rebound. Here's Graber. Now Davidson. He gets a baseline, throws it down! Frankie Davidson!
It was like he got halfway on the baseline and went, I think I'll dunk this.
Here's Asia now trying to respond with a three, no good. And that will be tipped out and will be Lancer's ball. Boy, we got to see that one again.
Now watch this. He takes 2 dribbles and then boom!
Even keel. No expression on his face. Wow, unbelievable.
Think student body didn't like that?
They love that one. As a sub now.
Yeah, that's worth a third look.
Yeah, look at this.
Oh, mama!
As a sub for St. Francis as Anderson checks in here for Mole. And now St. Francis going to a full court press here. Gill going to bring it up now for Grace. Davidson over to Gill. Nice move by Gill, and Eddie Gill gets the layup.
Anderson just not quick enough to stay with him inside. They've got no help whatsoever.
The Lancer lead is now 30. As here's Burke off the screen. Little pull-up jumper, no good. And Eddie Gill with another rebound. Now quickly the other way. Good D there by McKeeman. Now Graber. Over to Davidson.
No, folks, he can't dunk it from 28 feet away.
Davidson another three. This time no good. And the rebound to Cushingberry. Cushingberry trying to get inside. He'll kick over to Burke. Another three from Burke, and he hits that one.
See, they just have so many guys that can light it up. You just have to stay with that tough D.
Here's Gill over to Davidson. Now Gill. Wadding trying to find Malone inside. Now Graber. 11 to shoot here for Grace. Wadding working on McKeeman. Little jump hook in the lane. That time rattles out. And Cushingberry the other way for the Cougars. Burke feeling it with another three, and he hits. And Zane Burke now with 11 points for the Cougars.
You better pick him up as soon as he crosses the 10-second line.
Gill going to bring it across for Grace. Quick shot there by Davidson, rattles out. And the rebound by Asia, other way to Cushingberry. Here's McKeeman.
Where's number 4?
Cushingberry here getting inside. He'll pull it out now with 13 to shoot. Burke, quick trigger, another three, and he hits again.
I'm telling you, the kid's got a great quick release.
And Burke bringing some life back into the St. Francis team.
And he's only about the 4th best percentage-wise three-point shooter. That's what I'm saying. That's going to get turned into the media timeout. So it shouldn't cost the Lancers their timeout. But that's 3 threes he's hit in the last 2 minutes, and he didn't even catch it.
Yeah.
It's like a catch and shoot all in one motion.
Yeah, and Coach Moore getting on his guys there about, you got to get out to those shooters, and if you just keep giving them looks like that, St. Francis is going to slowly work their way back into this game. The Lancers have kind of cooled off a little bit the past couple minutes.
Well, we've had one pass and a shot, one pass and a shot, one pass and a shot the last 4 times down the floor.
St. Francis going to continue with this full court press here.
Well, it hasn't caused us to turn the basketball over, but it has rushed us offensively.
Davidson going inside, almost throwing it down again. And that will be a foul on number 31, Tyson Elwer.
Boy, Frankie goes to the basket. He's like a man possessed.
Almost just threw it in there.
They just held the media sign up for the timeout by Grace before.
Yeah, we'll get a media timeout here. We'll take a quick break, but we'll be right back after this.
Gary Grotto along with Jay Carmen here at the MOCC on the banks of beautiful Winona Lake. Grace Lancer men's basketball, number 13 in the country, lead to number 1 St. Francis Cougars, 60-39 with 13:52 to go in the second half. Jake, has anybody else scored in the second half other than Frankie?
Boy, it doesn't feel like it.
Eddie had that drive to the bucket for a layup, and I think that was it.
Davidson misses the first free throw. Davidson's got 26 points here tonight so far. Davidson's second up and good. And the Lancers now lead it by 22.
Not enough.
Here's McKeeman. And that has it stripped by Graber. Great play there from the freshman.
Super hands.
Graber over to Scott. Back to Graber.
There we go. A little bit better movement.
Over to Scott, 10 to shoot. Now 6. Davidson's got 4. Davidson's going to drive baseline. Just has to throw it up. No good. Good defense there from the Cougars.
Didn't like that set.
Now here's Cushingberry. As he drives inside, he'll be fouled. No shot. As Stoltzfus will pick up his first foul. Sikafus checks in here for Malone. And the inbound will go to Cushingberry. Now McKeeman. Scott with a nice steal.
Take it home, young man.
And Ian Scott misses the dunk. Maybe he jumped from a bit too far away there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
As here's Cushingberry. Good D there from Stoltzfus.
Nice job of shutting off the baseline.
Now Asia. Cushingberry now, he's going to pull up for 3. Knocks it down. And the Cougars slowly trying to work their way back into this game here. And they're definitely capable. Here's Graber. To Scott. And they're going to get Asia with the foul. That's going to be his 4th.
Well, that's really a good thing, but right now their scoring's not coming out of Asia.
Yeah.
So you feel like if this comes down to be a tight ball game in the last 3 or 4 minutes, Asia's going to be their go-to. But their comeback has been premised on 3-point shooting.
As Jake Wadding checks in for the Lancers for Frankie Davidson. As Graber gets it over to Sikafus. Wadding now to Stoltzfus. Sikafus going to be open here for 3. No good. And the rebound by Zolman. Cushingberry trying to get baseline. Over to Burke. Here's Burke. 10 to shoot now for St. Francis. Cushingberry gets inside and he will be fouled.
Is that on Scott?
And they're going to get Jake Wadding with the foul. He'll be his first. And Cushingberry will head to the line
Wadding
for 2.
reached in.
Yeah. Cushingberry's first will be good.
I mean, we have nobody on the floor right now with more than 7 points.
As Malone checks in here for Graber. Cushingberry's second will rattle out. And the rebound almost grabbed there by Elwer, but it'll go to the Lancers.
The Lancers have gone ice cold, and that same nice ball movement they had in the first half that put 50-some points on the board has not been here in the second half.
Sikafus over to Wadding. Sikafus inside, little floater, no good. And that one tipped off a Lancer player.
That's not our game. We're not going to beat anybody off dribbles. We are not quick enough at most any position to beat the ball on the ground and get it inside and get it up and in. That's not our game.
Here's Mole. Trying to get around Scott, and he will be fouled. That'll be Scott's second.
We've got more than half this half to go, and they've got it down to 18. Our defensive intensity is not what it was in the first half, but their offensive intensity is about double what it was in the first half.
Zolman trying to hook his way inside, no good. And Malone gets the rebound out to Stoltzfus. Stoltzfus now going to be left open for three. That's no good. Now Cushingberry the other way. Cushingberry will be fouled now. And the Cougars starting to get really aggressive here.
Well, exactly what is not our game, which is taking the ball to the basket, is theirs. They have the quickness at the guard positions to be able to take us off a dribble, and we're no longer protecting the basket quite the way we were.
Cushingberry's first is good. And the second is good as well. Coach Moore is going to call a timeout, a full timeout.
That's a good timeout.
We'll take a quick break, but we'll be right back after this. And we're back here at the MOCC as the Lancers have a 61-45 lead here over St. Francis. It was just announced over the PA system that both men's and women's soccer teams will advance to the semifinals of the NCCAA National Tournament, so that's very exciting. And
nice.
Congratulations
Excellent.
to those guys.
Great job.
But the Lancers here with a 61-45 lead, but almost feels a little bit dangerous at this point. St. Francis has kind of slowly worked their way back into this game.
And they've taken the crowd out of the game.
Yeah.
The crowd has become spectators rather than fanatical.
Stoltzfus here going to get it across for Grace as he's fouled by Mole, and that'll be Mole's second.
Jalen Mole picked up player foul number 2. Team number 5. Sideline possession, Grace.
Scott gets it in here to Stoltzfus. Scott to Stoltzfus. Now Davidson. Davidson with 10 to shoot. And they're going to get a foul on Cushingberry. And a technical foul called on Cushingberry.
He must have said a magic word because just his reaction to the...
Yeah. Here's another look.
And the coach lacrosse hot also.
Yeah. Davidson's free throw is good. Davidson now with 28 points. And he misses the second. And it'll be Lancer ball here.
Now it'll be a baseline possession, Grace.
Lancers will have it out of bounds underneath.
Was that in the bonus? Was that the... Yeah, that was the 7th team foul, so we ought to be shooting the bonus. Thank you.
And it looks like they're going to just keep it underneath here. As the ball gets inbounded here to Wadding, now Scott. And the Lancers get a little sloppy here as a turnover by Scott. Over 10 minutes to go here. And Grace with a 62-45 lead. And now a three going to be no good there from Zolman. And Malone gets the rebound. Here's Davidson. Now Wadding.
How about posting Malone inside? They're no longer double teaming him, guys.
Davidson, little gather step fadeaway is good.
He might have got away with an Asia step on that. That wasn't European. That was an extra half step for Asian.
Cushing-Berry. Over to Burke. And Cushing-Berry will be fouled there by Stoltzfus. Here's another look at that Davidson shot. Yeah, maybe an extra step there.
Yeah. We'll take it.
And Sikafus and Gill will check in here for Stoltzfus and Scott. The Cougars will have the ball here out of bounds underneath. As McKeeman checks in here for Zolman. McKeeman, little fadeaway jumper, no good. Ball tipped around and Burke comes up with the rebound. Burke now pulls a three, no good. And Eddie Gill will be fouled on the rebound. And the Lancers here in the bonus, so Eddie Gill will shoot free throws.
Boy, Eddie, inch for inch has got to be the best rebounding guard, maybe in the country. I mean, what's he got? At least 5 rebounds just this half.
Gill will hit the first of the 1-and-1 and extends the lead back to 20 here for Grace. Gill's second will be no good. And Mole with the rebound. Mole quickly going to go the other way. Over to McKeeman. McKeeman pull-up jumper, no good again. And Gill, there he is again with another rebound.
And he got smacked in the head again. How about moving, guys? He picked up his dribble.
Sikafus gets it back to Gill. Davidson trying to find Malone inside. Now Sikafus going to be left wide open here for three. No good.
He's aiming. He's not shooting right now.
McKeeman over to Cushing-Berry.
That was an adventure.
Cushing-Berry getting inside. Nice dump off inside there to Elwer.
Cushing-Berry's had a heck of a second half between penetration, picking up fouls, and dump offs.
Here's Gill. And he'll be fouled by Mole. That'll be his third. And Eddie Gill will shoot again from the line.
Team number 9, Lancers at a 1-and-1. Eddie Gill on the line.
Elijah just committed his own sacred sin. You know, he never leaves his feet before the shooter commits, and he did that time.
As Zolman will check in here for Mole with those 3 fouls. Gill second, well off the mark. And the rebound to Zolman.
Left a lot of points at the free throw line.
Cushing-Berry underneath, now over to Zolman. Another 3, no good. And Davidson grabs the rebound.
Look.
Quick outlet now to Gill. Now Malone. And
the big man!
Malone makes it, but they're going to call a travel there.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas.
On Malone. Maybe took an extra step
that
there.
Could have been a Dancing with the Stars move.
Here's another look.
Not much.
Tough to say. Tough to say there. As Burke gets it to Cushingberry. McKeeman just going to pull up for three. No good again. Offensive rebound, though. And now kick out McKeeman, another three. And that one somehow rattles in. And Coach Lacrosse will call a timeout as the Lancers lead is 15 here.
Only a 30-second.
30-second timeout. 7:32 left here in this ball game. As here's another look at that McKeeman three. Boy, every part of the rim there.
But what did we not give them in the second or in the first half?
Yeah, second chances. Yeah, the Lancers struggling to kind of keep St. Francis off the glass. And it's kind of been a little surprising to see Grace not go to Malone more inside. He was very active early, and we haven't seen much of
We've
Elijah.
forgotten about him.
Yeah, it's almost like as if Frankie has had such a great game that it's almost like Elijah hasn't really existed much offensively in the second half.
Sometimes when one guy is just doing such a spectacular job, you have other guys stand around and watch him.
Yeah.
And, one of the things that makes it so great to get the ball to Malone, or so easy to get the ball to Malone, is because our perimeter people understand passing angles. And we have not had those good angles and that good spacing for Malone in the second half.
Graber, a little floater inside, no good. Malone gets the offensive rebound, and there he is as he gets fouled by Elworth.
No.
That'll be Elworth's second.
If they wouldn't have been on his arm, if he could have taken them up and gotten a step on that, then he might have brought the house down, and that might have given us about 3 minutes worth of momentum that carried us through the rest of the game.
Malone going to hit the first as Elijah Malone with 11 points here tonight.
And here comes Asia. It was a matter of time with those 4 fouls before he came back.
Asia checks in here for Elwer, had some great minutes there for St. Francis. Malone's second is good. And Ian Scott will check in here for Elijah Malone.
Wadding goes, "Oh, Mr. Elijah, I'm back to guard you again." Come on over, Asia. It's you and I.
Cushingberry, nice take. Unable to finish the layup, though. And it's Graber that gets the rebound for Grace. Backdoor to Davidson, and Davidson throws it down.
What a spectacular dunk, but the key was Graber. Graber under control, set his man up, stopped, hesitated. Frankie's man was flat-footed. He goes backdoor to the basket. See how he stops there, and then he gives it off to Davidson, makes the dunk easy. Yeah, like as if a dunk is easy, but, for we normal people it isn't.
Yeah, for real.
But just a spectacular pass by Graber. Set him up perfectly.
Cushingberry here with the 1-and-1, hits the first. As Cushingberry now with 9 points for the Cougars.
Isn't Cushingberry getting tired of being at the free throw line?
Second is no good. Offensive rebound, though, to Asia. Asia swatted by Wadding.
That's why I'm playing defense on you, pal.
And they're going to call a 10-second there as Graber, great defensive pressure there by Cushingberry, and Graber unable to get it across in time.
Boy, he's played hard this second half. There's been no quitting that young man.
Here's Cushingberry.
Talk about the heart of a lion.
Now McKeeman. McKeeman, little floater in the lane. That one rattles in. And the lead cut to 16 here for Grace. Here's Davidson. As he tries to skip that one to Gill. And maybe just a bit too much heat on that one. Miscommunication.
Well, again, I think his teammates were standing around watching, expecting him to do something with the basketball.
Burke over to Zolman. Now Burke again, another three from Burke, this one well short. And Davidson gets the rebound. As here's Gill now for Grace. Over to Wadding. Now Graber inside to Davidson. Davidson kicks to Graber. 10 to shoot now for Grace. Wadding inside. Nice move. Misses the layup, though. Great rebound. Goes back up. Oh, and it just rims out.
Jake got to get a point for that just for hard work.
Yeah. Cushingberry quickly the other way. Has it stripped by Graber.
I thought Graber knocked it off his leg before.
Yeah, looked like it from here. And Jalen Mull going to check in here for St. Francis. Yes, here's another look.
Oh, my.
Mull to inbound. Cushingberry here with a screen from Asia. A little step back three, and that's good. And it's back to 13 here with just over 5 minutes to go. Graber getting it across now. And he has that one stolen by McKeeman. Now Cushingberry gets the layup the other way. And it's an 11-point game just like that. And Coach Lacrosse will call a timeout. As, boy, you can just tell just the quality of St. Francis here really showing.
And the tip of your hat to Cushingberry. The kid's motor just goes 100 miles an hour all the time. Even when you could see maybe some of the rest of his teammates were down in the dumps a little bit, he just wouldn't let them roll over.
Yeah. Full timeout here from the Lancers. We'll take a quick break, but we'll be right back. And we're back here at the MOCC as the Lancers hanging on here to an 11-point lead over number 1 St. Francis with 4:56 left to go in this second half.
Jake, I really think that in this comeback by St. Francis, their quickness and their athleticism has kind of taken over a little bit.
Yeah.
I see that Bailey is back on the St. Francis bench with a set of sticks. He's on crutches.
Graber gets it to Wadding. Now skip over to Scott. Here's Davidson. Now Graber, 11 to shoot for Grace. Now 9, kicks out over to Gill. Eddie Gill now going to try a three. No good.
That's really not the shot we wanted.
And it's Mull with the rebound. Now Cushingberry. Over to Mull. Mull has it lost. Now gets it back. Dump off to Asia, and that's stolen by Graber. Still a loose ball, and now it's Gill with it for Grace. Graber throwing it. Nice save by Wadding. And now Gill. Lancers a little sloppy here.
Relax. Look at the height advantage. Scotty, go. Oh!
Kick out Graber. Graber going to be left wide open. His three up. No good. And McKeeman with the rebound. Now a quick outlet to Asia. Now Burke steps into a three. That's well short. And the rebound to Scott.
All right, let's get some spacing, run some clock here.
Here's Graber. Now Wadding. Double screen here for Davidson. Now Gill over to Scott. 9 to shoot for Grace. Davidson's got 5. Davidson gets baseline and gets the layup to go.
Ooh, that was a critical defensive mistake by St. Francis.
St. Francis had the Lancers in a good spot with under 5 seconds on the shot clock, but Davidson able to...
You'd think they'd wanted to double-team him on the baseline, and they just left him go.
And Coach Moore going to call a timeout as the Lancers here with a 71-58 lead with 3:13 to go.
I think there's a part of the coaching staff that just went, phew.
Yeah. Yeah, big-time basket there by Frankie Davidson. He's got 34 on the night. And here's another look. That's a great take by Davidson. The Lancers look a little frazzled here late in this game because of, as you mentioned, Jerry, just the athleticism and the quickness of these St. Francis guards.
Well, we thought it would take its toll at the outset. It didn't. It took its toll in the last 7-8 minutes of the game. If we can escape with this, be a great learning experience for Grace that nobody, again, remember at one time when we were in the middle of our big run in the first half, we had Frankie Davidson and 4 pure freshmen on the floor at one time. Nothing's easy in this conference.
Yeah.
Nobody gives up in this conference. There's no walkaways in this conference.
Lancers,
but I would rather learn that lesson with a W than with an L.
Yes. As the Lancer lineup on the floor going to be Stoltzfus, Graber, Davidson, Scott, and Wadding. And for St. Francis, it's going to be Cushingberry, Mulma, Keeman, Burke, and Asia. Here's Cushingberry off the screen over to Mole. Mole, nice little jab step, getting inside, layup, no good. Rebound by Wadding. And Wadding has it poked away by Mole.
There's that quickness.
Cushingberry leans into a three-pointer, no good. And Zane Burke gets the offensive rebound. Cushingberry now gets an easy take to the basket. And Grace's lead is 11.
Get it in your free throw shooter's hands. You got a double bonus.
Here's Scott over to Graber. Now Stoltzfus into Davidson.
2.5 to play.
And here comes the double team. Davidson kicks to Stoltzfus, now Graber. 9 to shoot. Now here's Wadding. 4 seconds. And they're going to call a blocking foul there on Cushingberry.
Oh, my. That's a tough call.
With 3 seconds on the shot clock. And Coach Lacrosse can't believe it.
But I can't believe we haven't taken advantage of that before. I mean, we've got a 6-7 inch mismatch there with Cushingberry on the weak side of the floor, and we have not looked to take advantage of it.
Wadding here at the line. And he hits the first. Big free throw there from Jake Wadding. Wadding's second, going to be up and good. And the Lancer lead is now 13 with just over 2 minutes to go. Mole kicks it over to Burke, now Cushingberry. Nice strong take inside, and Cushingberry.
Well, guys, you got to at least get in their way, make them use up some time, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, very quick basket there, as Cushingberry now has 18 points.
And I think he had 4 at halftime.
Yeah. Here's another look at that one, and just maybe it's a little bit too easy there.
Absolutely.
So
it's like if I was guarding him, for goodness sakes.
So the Cougars here hanging around. You got to give them a lot of credit for their resiliency here, as they were down big.
Well, again, you got some guys on this team that have been to the national tournament, have been to the national final game, have been to the national championship, have won conference championship. You know, they haven't done that by just throwing their supporters out on the floor and, you know, running up and down. They've done it because they're a really good basketball team.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and you just see the quality of I mean, Cushingberry has been spectacular in this second half. He maybe had 2 points in the first half, and he's really turned it on defensively and offensively for St. Francis.
Well, he was just kind of the spark. You know, don't go away, guys. I'm right here with you. I'll take you home. I'll take you home. And I mean, we're talking about Asia, who came in, averaging 19.7?
Yeah.
And he's got 7 points.
Right. So the Lancers here on the floor are going to be Stoltzfus, Graber, Wadding, Scott, and Davidson. As Lancers looking to get some more ball handling on the floor here.
And free throw shooting.
As Graber will inbound for Grace. They get it into Stoltzfus. Now back to Graber.
They're going to tap away from behind against him.
Stoltzfus smartly going to pull it out to Graber. Now Wadding. Wadding getting inside, and that layup is good. And Jake Wadding now with 11 for Grace. Cushingberry quickly the other way. Tough floater, no good. And Stoltzfus grabs the rebound, and he will be fouled by Zolman.
Now, this is sad. This is really sad. We're going to win, and we're going to beat the number 1 team in the country, and we're going to walk out of here disappointed because we were up 30.
Yeah. Bizarre, very bizarre. Stoltzfus here at the line. And unable to hit the first free throw. As Asia going to check in here for Zolman. A little offense for defense, and it'll be Sikafus in for Graber. Stoltzfus has not scored tonight. And he gets his first point on the board there from the free throw line. And we're going to get a timeout here from Coach Moore. We'll take a quick break, but we'll be right back. And we're back here at the MOCC. I'm Jake Harmon alongside Jerry Garado as the Lancers lead it 76-62 here over St. Francis. As the Lancers, both of these teams undefeated. Lancers sitting at 9-0 and the Cougars at 10-0. It's been one heck of a game here this evening. As here's Cushingberry for the Cougars. Trying to get an isolation here on that right side as he goes up over Stoltzfus. No good. Going to get his own rebound, though, and go back up and get the and one.
Remember, that young gentleman's 5'8". He's the smallest player on the floor for either team.
And a sub here. A little offense for defense for both teams as Graber in for Scott. And then Zolman's going to be in for the Cougars for Asia. As well as number 23. That's going to be Nayland Thompson.
We didn't see much of Malone down the stretch here tonight.
Yeah. Stoltzfus picks up his third foul. And the free throw good there from Cushingberry. And Thompson will come in here for Cushingberry. The inbound goes to Davidson.
Remember, the guys on the floor got a lot of fouls to give for St. Francis.
And Zolman will pick up the foul. It'll be his second. And Davidson will head to the line tonight. He's been spectacular with 34 points tonight. And that free throw rims out there for Davidson. As Eddie Gill and Ian Scott will check in here for Grace. And Asia and Cushingberry and McKeeman will check in for the Cougars.
And boy, you just can't get that clock to run quick enough for these Grace fans.
And Davidson knocks it down. 12-point lead here for Grace. Mole going to go quickly the other way. Layup, no good. And Jake Wadding gets the rebound. Wadding gets it over to Sikafus. Back to Wadding. And they're going to call it a 10-second. Coach Moore was trying to call a timeout there.
Got to come from player on the floor.
And St. Francis will take over with just over a minute to go.
Sideline possession, Cougars, adjusted time.
Mole going to try to get it into Cushingberry. Nice play there by Gill to tip it out of bounds.
A little guy behind the bench there, probably about 4 or 5. Got that loose ball out of bounds, flipped it back to the official. Nice form on the pass.
They're going to take a second off the clock there as they get it in here to Asia. Now Cushingberry. Little fadeaway mid-range jumper is no good as Scott gets it to Davidson. Back to Scott. Now to Wadding. Nice look to Gill, and Gill will get the easy 2.
Nice pass. Very unselfish pass.
Cushingberry goes all the way in and gets the layup to go. And they're going to get a delay of game warning there on Cushingberry. As Graber and Stoltzfus check in here for Gill and Scott.
Again, free throw shooters for defenders.
And then Zolman in for Cushingberry. And Asia going to check in as well.
No angles.
And that ball tipped out of bounds, almost stolen by Zolman there. As the Lancers going to go to a stack here. As they're going to adjust the time here, put a second off the clock. As they get it in here to Davidson. Nice pass to Sikafus. Sikafus is trapped and he will be fouled. And they're going to get Mole with the foul. And that'll be his 4th. As Sikafus will head to the line here for 2. His first up and good.
And Jake Wadding goes to the bench. And this victory rests on his shoulders a whole lot because he took one of the biggest studs in our conference, if not the country, and just shut him off early.
Asia, but just 7 points tonight. As here's Mole now the other way. Mole driving in on Gill. Shot up and good. And they get it into Davidson. Davidson trapped, now finds Scott. And Eddie Gill will go up and get the easy 2. And they're going to adjust the clock here a little bit. As the Lancers lead at 83-69.
If I'm Coach Lacrosse, I feel pretty good about this comeback, man. His team could have easily rolled over, and they did not. The message will be, gentlemen, if we'd have played 5 minutes harder in the first half, we'd be walking out of here with a W. And in this conference, you know you're not going undefeated.
Stoltzfus just throws it away, and the Lancer crowd really getting into it here. As that'll do it. The Lancers win against the #1 team in the country, 83-69. Boy, what a hard-fought win, though, tonight for Grace. As the Lancers will improve to 10-0 on the season. And St. Francis, with their first loss, goes to 10-1 and 2-1 in the conference. Lancers go to 3-0.
And you know what the old coach in me says? Oh, mercifully, don't let there be a letdown game against Bethel on Saturday.
Yeah.
What a great job. This was one of those nights that was just the perfect night to be at Grace College.
Yeah.
The atmosphere, the weather, the band was back, the student body turned out in what had to be 70% first, and they were at full lung capacity. The guys played the first half as well as could possibly be played, and then hung on against an outstanding St. Francis team. But congrats to the Lancers.
Yeah.
Now, to give you an idea of what's on their way, while we maybe wait for some stats, maybe not. Saturday, the Lancers will be at Bethel. That's a 3 o'clock tip. That'll be on a Bethel stream. On the 8th, which is Tuesday, a week from tonight, St. Xavier in Chicago. That's an 8 o'clock tip Grace time. Then the 13th and 14th, Monday and Tuesday, will be from Florida. We're working on trying to get that streamed for you. If we can get it done, we've got a crew going down. It's just a matter of if we can get things set up. Our next home game is the 30th, when Cornerstone, national champion of a couple years ago, always a powerhouse from that Michigan conference, will come to call here. We've got Great Lakes Christian on New Year's Eve at Great Lakes Christian. And then after the first of the year, we're back to conference calls in Indiana Wesleyan with IWU. Comes the call. Be interesting to see what happens this Saturday between St. Francis and Indiana Wesleyan.
Yeah.
But we've got our own business to take care of at Bethel. What a great win for Grace. Yeah. Absolutely great.
Huge win tonight for the Lancers. As, boy, there's just never a week off in this conference. It just seems like you beat the #1 team, and then the next week you're playing a team that's probably ranked and very good as well.
And if you take a week off, you get your butt handed to you on a platter.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Lancers going to pull it out tonight. You got to give a lot of credit to St. Francis, though, as we mentioned. Just what a great basketball team they are. Great, well coached by Coach Lacrosse, and they could have easily just quit after Lancers were up, I believe, like 46-16 in that first half, and they just never gave up. And boy, they had the Lancers, a little frazzled down the stretch there, but Lancers able to hang on and get the win.
Frankie Davidson with 35 big ones he puts on the board. Malone also in double figures. I believe both those guys had a double-double. Although he didn't put up a ton of points, big kudos to Eddie Gill on a nice ball handling job, good defensive job, and a superb defensive rebounding job.
Yeah.
Jake Wadding with just a spectacular defensive job against Asia that took him out of the game early and out of any kind of rhythm, and where they were searching for shots, because normally it's Asia does some gliding and striding inside. It opens up their outside shooting, and there wasn't any gliding and striding early. Wouldn't want to have to do that twice or three times in one season, but a great job by Jake Wadding, and just the toughness that he displayed. I remember specifically Asia bumping, and Wadding just wouldn't back down from him, didn't commit to foul.
Yeah.
Defensively, all 7-8 guys that went on the floor were just tremendous defensively.
Yeah.
Not decent, they were tremendous. For most of the half, they held St. Francis under 20 points for the biggest majority of the first half.
Yeah.
And that's an absolutely incredible job.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Jerry, I know you always ask me trivia questions. I've got a trivia question for you.
Oh, mercy. Okay.
Did you, well, it's not a question, I guess. It's more of a did you know. But did you know this is the highest ranking that the Lancers have had since 1992 when the Lancers ended up winning the national championship. Now, I'm not implying anything there, but I'm just saying and this Lancers team ranked 13th in the country, the highest we've been since that time, and beating the number one team in the country. You know, if the Lancers continue to win and continue to improve like they have been, good things could happen this season for them.
My answer to you is yes and no. I knew that we had not been, at least in the, 15, 16 years I've been here, we have not been this high in the rankings this early in the season.
Yeah.
Whether we had reached it at tournament time, I don't know. So if you say that this is the highest we've ever been since 1992, I know you like getting me, so I'm going to believe you wholeheartedly. Now, Lancer fans, don't go goofy. Just because we beat the number one team, we're not going to be number one 2 weeks from now. The ratings only come out every 2 weeks. That's one thing. And the second thing is there's a whole lot of teams all over the country that you're going to have to jump up in front of.
Yeah.
Should we be in the top 10? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be any question behind that. And how much fun is that?
Oh, absolutely. It's fantastic. It's fantastic for Grace and the student body and for this basketball team. Coach Moore's done an absolutely spectacular job with his team. And
remember their kiddie core. My goodness, they're just babes.
And also, keep in mind as well, the Lancers without both of the Gibbs brothers as well it's been a long time, so getting them back will also be huge for this Lancers team.
Yeah, when we get back from Christmas, the Bee Gees will be in full chorus.
Yeah, well, that'll do it for our broadcast tonight.
Speaking of that, Merry and safe Christmas to everyone. I hope we get a chance to do our Florida broadcast, but if not, next time you'll be hearing from Jake and I will be December 30th.
Yeah.
Here at home when Cornerstone comes to call. Student body will be out, so we need a lot of folks from the community to fill up these seats. Be safe.
Yeah.
And thank you for the nice Christmas present,
Yeah,
Lancers.
what a Christmas present that was. Well, we're going to sign off for now. I'm Jake Harmon.